Welcome to African Insight, a space where the vibrant tapestry of Africa comes to life. We're thrilled to have you here as part of our community of curious minds, explorers, and enthusiasts passionate about unraveling the diverse stories, cultures, and insights that make Africa truly extraordinary. Get ready to embark on a journey of discovery. Ngoni is a flag of convenience to describe the post-Mfecana situation by white governing parties in southern Africa. Pre-Mfecana times, there were limited applications about the Nguni label. The Nguni label stands essentially as a linguistic term. For purposes of convenience, the Nguni are divided into a northern group, the Zulu and the Swatis, and a southern group, AmaXhosa. In other speculations, a European scholar Wilson, who had linked Nguni people, even placed it on cattle, the Nguni cattle. Wikipedia defines overall the Nguni cultural group is made up of the Xhosa, Zulu, Ngoni, Swati, and Ndebele ethnic groups. It further classifies the Nguni people are an ethnic group living in the present day southern African countries of Malawi, Mozambique, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, and Zambia, whereby the Ngoni trace their origins to the Nguni and Zulu people. In the post colonial era, the Nguni people played pivotal roles in shaping the political landscape of their respective nations. Figures like Nelson Mandela, a Xhosa, became iconic symbols of the struggle against apartheid in South Africa. The Nguni cultural heritage, with its rich oral traditions, vibrant arts, and distinctive rituals, has persisted despite external pressures. Much of the writing on Nguni has been based on the work of Dr. A.T. Bryant, born in London 1865, a missionary and writer who collected a vast body of Zulu oral traditions in a 50-year period from 1883. However, the first record of Nguni, Bantu people, is traced back to an early page by Portuguese navigator Lorenzo Marques in 1544, who largely explored Mozambique, and as a result, European writers often trace the movement of Ngunis to this record by Lorenzo in the 1500s. In the 1500s, Portugal had grown to be Europe's dominant maritime power. These European writers excluded Vasco da Gama's interaction with KhoiKhoi between 1497 and 1502, as to them they do not classify them as part of Nguni. Vasco da Gama reached Pondoland, of which this Pondoland he named Natal, Natal meaning Christmas, since he reached it in December, where there are Nguni people named Amapondo in that Natal. Prior to Vasco da Gama in 1486, Portuguese explorer Bartolomeu Dias and his crew were the first Europeans to sail around the southern point of the continent of Africa. He named it the Cape of Good Hope, Cabo de Boa Esperanza, because it was hoped that it would clear the way to India, which would simplify trade with the East. And he also recalls KhoiKhoi. It is recalled in his journals that they called themselves KhoiKhoi, which means men of men, or the real people, of which what they could make of them is Hottentot, a derogatory term they used. This term, they heard it when they were dancing. Bryant's work points out that the divisions in southern Africa are of what was originally one single Nguni Bantu family or tribe that broke into two parts. One moved away to the northwest, eventually to be swamped by Sutu people, and the other, of which he classifies Pura Nguni, moved eastwards towards the coast in four main parties: Ndungwa, Xhosa, Mbo, and Lala. Bryant suggests that Mbo and Lala were the first parties to migrate. The Mbo settled among Sutu people in the region of present-day Swaziland, while the Lala reached the Delagoa Bay area and intermingled with the present-day Tsonga. The other two Nguni parties moved in a southeasterly direction, avoiding Sotho and Tsonga communities. The Xhosa party took a more southerly route, while the Ndungwa settled further to the north in the modern Zulu heartland. Bryant's work came to be known as fact and fiction due to major work by Magema Magwaza Fuze, the first Zulu to write work in his native language, a book called Abantu Abamnyama Lapa Bavela Ngakhona. Magema Magwaza Fuze attached in Bryant's work that his ancestors have revealed that Zulus descended from the sky, AmaZulu that traveled up the sky, whereby the word Zulu actually identifies the sky above, and in the Bantu context, where the prefix ba means children of and tu means the sky or the heavens, just like the prefix zu. Also within the Zulus, you have people of Kwalanga, where Langa means the sun and meaning that they are travelers who pass next to the sun, signifying galactic bodies they identify themselves coming from. However, other scholars translated this as fiction, as there is no verifiable data, and that this actually means black people originally came from the north, and that when they made close inquiry as to where this north may be, they point in an upward direction. This north has led to migration theories of Bantu people coming from the north. In Credo Mutwe's book, Indaba My Children, all tribes are direct offshoots of the great Bantu nation that lived years ago in Africa, reckoned according to the genealogies. The Bantu or the Batu were the founders of our culture and our religion, and being a solid uniform nation, they were at peace for thousands of years. They were not ruled by chiefs, but a high council of the mothers of the people. The ruling council of the mothers of the people used magic and naked intimidation to exercise control over all the people. The southern offshoots, the Bapedi, Bavenda, Bahalaka, and Batswana are the oldest Bantu tribes of the level of the Limpopo, and their histories within these regions go back to 1,000 years BC. Africans were the first to inhabit the earth. Fossil records as well as DNA analysis give scientific evidence to support this fact that for the first woman to give birth was a black African woman. It is from us that all humans have come. The other races of humankind all evolved from black Africans. The term Ngoni is derived from a click expression, Quna or Quni, in Xhosa known as Qunu. The cliques have been wrongfully qualified by non-queer societies, which is AbeMbo and AmaLala, to Kuni, Kuna, ending up as Nguni. The name is connected in southern Africa in many tribes, connected with Nama people, the Kalahari, the Damaran people in Namibia. Qunu are people of their own, but due to marriages with other tribes, as with all African indigenous society, when Africans marry, they marry people from different tribes, married from specific clans or tribes, whether it was a queendom or kingdom. Different tribes or clans must interact in order to give seed. You cannot marry in your own clan. Southern Africa was one transaction of intermarriage. The Nama people, now dominant in Namibia, have been wrongfully classified by white anthropologists who were trying to classify people under their own notion as the San or the KhoiKhoi when found on the Cape Colony of South Africa. It is no coincidence that Kuna or Kuni and Kunu comes from the two tribes, Nama and Xhosa, as linguists themselves have revealed that a language with clicks belongs to one of the earliest civilizations of mankind. Southern Africa was one region. Your non-queer society, AbeMbo and AmaLala, have migrated to Southern Africa from Central Africa. Hence why even Dr. Bryant mentioned that your first people to migrate are AbeMbo and AmaLala. If you remember within the video as well, the song whereby they want to go back to their land. In the migration to the south, they came with trade relations and ended up being absorbed and marrying to Kuni, Kuna, or Kunu. Amampondo and Pondomise are associated with Kuni, Kuna, or Kunu. Historically, the people known as AmaNguni are not really Nguni, but AbeMbo. The real Ngunis are your numbers Damaran, Xhosa, Amampondo, Mpondomise. But how could you filter out all the intermarriages? AmaNguni are tribes that intermarried and gave birth to people that we are today.